Okay, and with Roger Draper, Warrington Wolves Chief Executive. Roger, I think you're on 276 days into your work to transform Warrington Wolves. How are things going?
Yeah, I've nearly survived 300 days. The usual ups and downs of being chief executive of a sports organisation. A lot of things going well. We've had a really busy period in the off season. Obviously, launching a new membership scheme, which seems a long time ago. Working hard on sort of full season memberships, flexi memberships. We've got an official new club store. Launched a new website. Kit launches. So there's a lot going on. And as I say, we're in the thick of the sort of all the operational things at the moment. And as you would expect, some things going well, some things aren't going as well. So fixing some problems along the way as well.
What things aren't going well then?
Well, there's a few things. We've had some sort of operational issues with some of the new sort of technology we've had on membership. So, for example, we've had a bit of a delay with the loyalty scheme that we wanted to launch. So, that's been a real pain, but we've been busy behind the scenes sort of fixing that as soon as we can. So, we apologise to all fans that hasn't been in place. It was supposed to be in place for the membership scheme. The flexi scheme again got a little bit delayed just because of the technology. We're having a few issues with some of our suppliers, and we've been giving them a bit of a kick up the backside as well. But it's not major crisis, but it's just things that we'd rather them run smoothly, and they haven't.
How are season ticket sales going for the new season?
Well, I think the big challenge for us is season ticket sales or full season memberships have been going down for the last sort of 3 years since the sort of peak of 2012 on the back of sort of grand finals and Challenge Cup successes. So I suppose the good news is that we've sort of the trend data has shown that we've arrested the decline, so we're tracking ahead of 2015. We're not that far off 2014 figures, but what we'd like to do over the coming, certainly by the season launch start on the sort of 4th of February, we'd like to be back, overtaking the 2014 figures. So good news is we've arrested the decline, but we want to get back up again as well. And we're very lucky here at Warrington Wolves that we've got a really good board. We've got particularly Simon Stewart now on board investing, Mike Lomax, that they're putting significant investment in this, and they want to see some return on that investment as well. So the money's going in to do things like the shop, the website, the new membership scheme, improvements obviously. We're hoping on the pitch as well. We've had quite a lot of turbulence in the off season in terms of people going. There's a really good vibe at the moment in terms of pre-season training, so we're looking forward to a big season next year.
So for the supporters who haven't been for a few years, what can they expect to see that's different? What will the match day experience be like for them when they actually come back?
Well, we started doing a few things last year. For example, the audience widths in the kiosk. We've put new coffee bars in. We've put a couple of new bars in as well. We're looking at the food and beverage offerings for the new season. Obviously, we've had a rebrand as well, and in fact, the new logos will be going up around the stadium next week as well. We've got a new club store, the new website. We're going to have a new sound system, so that was a big thing in the fan survey. So hopefully fans will notice a difference. They won't either be being blown up to the moon if they stand too near the sound system, or likewise, it was a bit embarrassing when we had the sort of farewells to the likes of Joel that people couldn't hear a thing. So there's a lot of things that we've been just fixing, simple things really, but stuff that came out in the fan survey that we've been trying to fix and improve the experience. But obviously, as in any professional sport, it's about what happens on the pitch. We can fix all of those things, but we want to be performing on the pitch next year.
Well, talking about performance on the pitch, you've made a lot of player recruitment in the closed season, at least 7 or 8 new faces coming into the club. How long do you think it will take for them to gel and work together as a team so they can deliver those results?
Well, only time will tell. We'll know that on the 4th of February and on the 14th of February here for our first home game. But the early signs are positive, and as I said, there's been a really good vibe in pre-season training. Most of the troops are either back from sort of England duty or come over from Australia. I think Mitch Dodds is over next week. we've still got a few people getting patched up with operations. Steph Retchford, Mitch Dodds has been having some stuff done on his wrist. James Lathwaite's had another ankle operation. So, but I think the signs are very positive, and I think we're in for a big season next year.
Now, Tony Smith is coming into his last year of contract now. Has anything been going on behind the scenes to discuss extending his contract?
No, I think we're going to wait and see how the season unfolds. Tony's been here, I think he's the longest serving sort of Super League coach now. We've got a great relationship with Tony, but no, we've not had any discussions about his contract either way. So, but like any sensible board or sensible business operation, we'll sit down at some point in the season and have a chat about Tony and his future.
One of the signings which raised a few eyebrows was the last one, the Ryan Bailey one, which suddenly came out from nowhere. With his bad boy reputation from the past, it's a bit of a gamble signing Ryan, do you think?
Well, you say it's a gamble. I mean, it's the thing you learn in sport is it's a good squad that wins Super League, not a good team. And obviously with the reserves coming in this year as well, we've got 15 reserve team fixtures. We needed strength in depth, and I think the late additions to the squad of Jordan Cox and Ryan Bailey, I think they'll be good additions. They add a lot of depth to the squad. People forget that, despite Ryan's sort of pantomime villain image, he's won 6 grand finals, 3 World Club Championships, so he'll bring a lot of experience, to the pack as well, and quite a bit of beef as well. So, I think we've brought in some pretty big units this year, both in the pack and in the backs as well, when you see the likes of, Tom Lynham close up as well. So, all sidings are a risk, but Ryan's settled in well into the squad, and he's already having an impact in pre-season.
And talking about pre-season, you've got a Warrington legend, even though he only played a few games, so it's coming back to Warrington, Andruw Jones, and he'll be involved in the training out in Tenerife as well, I believe. What sort of dynamics do you think someone like Andruw Jones brings to the Warrington Wolves?
Well, I think he's obviously a legend in rugby league, so getting him involved, he's obviously had a great relationship with Simon over the years. So Simon said, "Well, do you fancy getting involved and supporting Tony and the coaching team during pre-season?" So he's coming over to Tenerife, be working with the team. He's then coming over to Warrington for a week as well afterwards. So he's going to do some sort of both commercial stuff and some charity stuff, and getting involved with the fans and members as well. But I think, in any form of sport, you're always looking for different inputs as well, and obviously Andrew's got a strong connection here and a bit of a love affair with the fans as well. He was only here for a few games, but people still talk about the game he played here. I think it was against Leeds, and the impact that he made. So I think it's great for the team having somebody like him around.
Now, you're coming up to completing your 300-day programme of putting new things in place at the club. What will you be looking at beyond 300 days into the future?
Well, the plan's pretty simple. Most of the things that we've been doing is based on, the fan survey. So it's you said, we did. And as you know, Gary, we've got a sort of business model with 7 working priorities, 51 different action points on those. We've been converting a lot of the reds to ambers and a lot of the ambers to green. So it's not rocket science really, it's just carrying on making the changes that we need to make. We've still got a lot of work to do with our commercial strategy, our hospitality, still got a lot of work to do around the stadium. We've got a lot of work to do, with our community clubs as well. So, the job is never done. It's always that journey rather than the destination. And what we're trying to do is build Warrington Wolves, not just for 100 days, 200 days, 300 days, but for the next 3 years, the next 5 years, for the next 10 years. And that's what we want to build, and that's what the board want to do here, is build a brand that's successful, not just in Super League, but also in rugby league worldwide.
It's been 3 years since Warrington won any silverware, after going through a little purple patch of doing very well in the Challenge Cup and getting to grand finals. Is this the season now when we can see Warrington back up there challenging and hopefully bringing silverware back to the Halliwell Jones?
Well, it's always our year, as
You're not a Liverpool fan,
as
are
they
you?
constantly get reminded. And it's funny because when I was in tennis, we were constantly reminded 77 years since a British man won one. It was 79 years since we won the Davis Cup, and it was actually nice to sort of get those sort of monkeys off our back in tennis. And it's the same. I think it's 67 years or something like that since we've sort of won the grand final. But sometimes, yeah, I mean, you need a bit of luck and there's a bit of fate in it as well. We believe we've got a good squad this year. We've made some good positive changes. We've got that better balance of experience and youth coming through. And it's 140 years, so there's a bit of sort of fate, hopefully, with us. It's 30 years also since we won the Premiership, so sometimes you need a bit of luck and a bit of fate on your side. But yeah, as with every year, we certainly expect to be in the top four, and we certainly expect to be challenging for Challenge Cups, Grand Finals, and hopefully, in future years for World Club Championships as well.
Okay, Roger, thank you for your time as always, and we'll catch up in the new year.
Thank you.